Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Living Interfaith Sanctuary in today's service honoring Maulid al-Nabi. Before we begin, I just want to acknowledge that I'm currently seated on the land of the Coast Salish speaking peoples, the Coast Salish peoples, including the Squamish, the Tsleil-Waututh, and the Musqueam nations. I know that many of you are on the land of other nations, so if you'd like, please feel free to write those nation names in the chat. And always let us remember our connection to our siblings in these nations, and let us work and pray for the day in which we might be together in right relationship. Welcome to the Living Interfaith Sanctuary. Know that the whole of you is welcome. You're not asked to leave who you are in your own home, but please bring who you are into this community today. What you are asked to remember is that others here today have brought who they are into this community as well. And all of goodwill are welcome. So first thing this morning, I'll turn it over to Bruce and Cheryl for our opening song.
Come, whoever you are, wander. Are we coming through? Can you hear
It's
us?
a little quiet.
A little
Yeah.
It's weird. I don't know what's going on here.
The spirit is there.
The spirit is there.
Yes.
If you can't hear us, you can't hear us. Weird. Check, check, 1, 2. Is that better?
About the same.
Okay, I'll have to work on it after the song. We'll see.
Okay,
You sing
no worries.
along, pretend you can hear us.
Exactly.
Okay. Come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving. Ours is no caravan of despair. Come yet again, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving. Ours is no caravan of despair. Come yet again, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving. Ours is no caravan of despair. Come yet again, come.
Thank you. Wonderful. Well, friends, time for some announcements this morning. Well, one of the things about August is that there's 5 Saturdays this month, and one of the things we've been trying to do at the sanctuary is in the months that we have a 5th Saturday that we offer an in-person event or gathering of some kind. So this month, on August 29th, hosted at the Fireside Room at the Center for Peace, which is 1825 West 16th Avenue, Canadian Memorial Church, Rachel is going to be leading an event called Calling in the Light, Connecting with the Power of the Full Moon. So August 27th is a full moon featuring a partial lunar eclipse, which darkens more than 96% of the moon's surface. There's many teachings from different First Nations and faith groups across the world that have relationships with what these lunar eclipses may mean. So through readings, meditation, journaling, participants particularly going to be exploring ancient Celtic views of this moon cycle, helping in growing your own intuition, reflecting on what this event might speak into your own life. All who will participate are also encouraged to view the lunar event on Thursday, the 27th at 9:12 p.m. So what Rachel has asked is if you'd like to participate, please leave a special stone out overnight to bask in the moon's glow and bring the stone with you to the gathering. There's a form I will put in the chat, which you can access if you're in the Lower Mainland and that particular weekend and you love to come participate. It'll be from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. at the Center for Peace on the 29th. So there's the link to register if you're in the area. Additionally, at the sanctuary, another event that Rachel and I are preparing to lead in the fall is a settler accountability book club. So, as Canadian settlers, colonialism is deeply rooted in our experience, our worldviews, our decisions. At times, we may not even understand to what degree colonialism plays a role in how we live our lives. So, how do we unlearn? How do we question and uproot harmful ways of seeing, knowing, being? How do we stop perpetuating colonial lenses and harms upon each other, upon the earth? So, Rachel and I have chosen a book called Settler Identity and Colonialism by Emma Battelle Lohman and Adam Barker, which is recommended for decolonizing work by Harley Eagle, an Indigenous cultural and safety and humility specialist. So, I'll put the link if you would like to join. It's all going to be online. We're going to be meeting on Tuesdays. The first one will be September 15th. It'll be from 7:30 to 9 p.m. You're welcome to join from wherever you are, including if you're not even in Canada and you'd like to be part of growing this conversation in your community as well. I think the importance of having a chance to be educated together and have these shared reflections and discussions are so important. So please join us if you're able. If you're not able to join for every single one, but for most of them, that's fine too. So we just are hoping that people who are interested are able to come for as many. So all right, next to announce the Metro Vancouver Alliance, which is an organization that brings together many, many different organizations under an umbrella of organizing for the common good. We're preparing for municipal elections across BC, but particularly in Vancouver, the Metro Vancouver Alliance is preparing an event on the 23rd of September from 7 to 9 p.m. at St. Andrews Wesley. And they're asking member organizations to bring their congregants, their community members together to have like a massive bodies to then we're going to be as a collective voice asking questions directly to the mayoral candidates who are running for mayor this fall. To commit to working toward the 4 proposals and campaigns that the Metro Vancouver Alliance has proposed and has presented to its membership. So this the Living Interfaith Sanctuary is members of the Metro Vancouver Alliance, and we're asking if anybody would like to join us there. We would love to have you also representing with us. I'm going to add a link so you can see what's going to be happening at that event on the 23rd. If you have it popped open on your website, then you can kind of keep it in your mind, add it to your calendar. If you're in the Lower Mainland, if you're in Vancouver particularly, please come and join on the 23rd. I'll probably send another email out before then specifically about that event for those who'd like to join. Finally, one other announcement is that Trees Canada's National Tree Day Stewardship event happening in Vancouver on the 26th of September on Pipeline Road, 610 Pipeline Road. Join this free volunteer event to help support forest restoration in Stanley Park by removing invasive plant species such as English ivy. Volunteers will make a meaningful contribution to local habitat restoration and learn about the park's unique ecosystem. And always a delight to go out to Stanley Park because of the old growth trees that are some of the few that are preserved and protected that we have access to in our area. So this is a link. I just threw it into the chat. So there's lots happening here in the sanctuary. And how about you? Is there anybody else that wants to share any announcements, things that are going on in your communities you'd like us to know about, offer our support for? Please feel free to unmute and share. Okay, well, there being none at this point, that's fine. Feel free to drop anything into the chat if it occurs to you partway through the service as well. So, all right, let's move into our morning prayers together. Today's service is in honor of the birth of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. So we have prayer and poem speaking to this holy event. So opening our hearts together. O Allah, shower your Rahmah, Barakah, and love upon us and protect us from all types of hardship. Grant us good health and a complete cure. Accept our good deeds, Ya Allah. Save us from poverty, also from drowning under our own pride, ego, and desires. Shower your abundant mercy on every Muslim ummah and ulma. Grant us success in a long, peaceful, and prosperous life. To Allah be the glory for enabling us witness this day. That is the blessed day the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was born. May peace and blessings of Allah be upon the Holy Prophet and his immediate family, including his disciples and all who are close to him and his followers till eternity. Ya Allah, I ask you for the blessings that does not end, contentment that never ceases, knowledge which is beneficial, sustenance which is good, deeds which are acceptable, and acceptance of your decree. Wallahumma Amin Kun Fayakun. That is a prayer written by Mahmoud Abdul Mahmoud. And this morning for our candle lighting prayer, it's a poetry I found by a young man named Shofi Ahmed. Peace be upon you, peace be upon you. The moment you were born, were summoned to earth far from heaven. Far no more, no more. Heaven is now an open door, close to the believer's soul. Peace be upon you, peace be upon you. The moment did you dip your toe in this mortal soil, mortal no more, no more. It becomes sublimely the most beautiful of all. Peace be upon you, peace be upon you. The moment you breathed life, your perfume stirred the water. The meaning of life is obscured no more, no more. It's clear like the full moon. Peace be upon you, peace be upon you. East to the west, the leading light shines at the force. Mercy to the world, for the mankind, for the evening star and the morning rose. You brought peace to all. Now feel free to unmute yourselves and greet each other with a sign of peace. Peace, everyone. It's lovely to have you with us this morning.
Peace be with you.
Peace.
Peace to you.
Peace.
Salam alaikum.
Alaikum assalam. Now we'll turn it over to Bruce and Cheryl for a song.
Talal badru alayna min taniyatil wada wajaba shukru alayna madda alillahida talal al badru alayna تنيات الوداع وجب الشكر علينا مدى للهدى. Oh, the white moon rose over us from the valley of Wada, and we owe it to show gratefulness where the call is to Allah. Tallah badru alayna min taniyatil wada wajaba shukru alayna mada Ayuhal mabutu fina Jitabial amrial muta Jita sharaf tadal madina Mahabanya kairada. Oh, you raised amongst us, coming with work to be obeyed. You have brought to this city nobleness. Welcome this call to God's way. Welcome this call to God's way. Welcome this call to God's way. Shama shukru alayna mada'at lilahida mada'at lilahida mada'at lilahida.
Thank you, Bruce and Cheryl. Thank you so much. We share now in our joint affirmation. You can read this out in your own homes. We'll read it together. We come together in peace. We sing together in joy and with love. We worship together in one house, a house with names beyond number. Our paths are many, our beliefs are as leaves, and the tree that we cleave to is nourished by the light of compassion, justice, and mutual respect. May our lives, our beliefs, and our actions help to bring about the world of love we all seek, and let it begin here. Well, now is the time. I'm going to lead us just in a very short guided meditation to ground ourselves. And then I just want to invite you to pray for whatever may be on your heart this morning. There are so many deeply just sad and sorrowful things happening. And I'm sure there's personal things as well. But just particularly thinking of the wildfires happening across Canada, what's happening in BC now, and the displacing of people, and how much it's impacting so many. That's been on my mind this last few days, particularly in the prayers. But whatever it is your heart feels called to. But let's begin by just grounding ourselves together as a community. Let's just take a moment to let your body feel heavy in the chair that it's in. You can let your eyes close or your gaze lower. And just let your breath come with a little bit of fullness. We're going to take some breaths together here as a community. So drawing in a deep, full breath is filling yourself up as much as you're able and holding it when you get to the top. And then letting it go slow and steady, slower than you breathed in. Another deep breath in, breathing into your low belly. Lots of room, relaxing your body as you're breathing, holding it at the top and releasing it when you're ready. One more time, big breath in, feeling that breath into your low back, your hips, your shoulders, holding your breath when you get to the top and letting it go when you're able. That's it. Just coming home to yourself for a moment. As we sit together here in community, just letting your breath now settle into whatever breath feels the natural rhythm of your body in this moment. Hopefully with a little more space, a little more centeredness. Just opening your heart and your mind to the divine, to whatever it is that you seek sustenance and counsel and comfort from. Just opening our hearts in prayer for the next couple of moments in your own language, in your own way, in your own home. May it be so. Thank you, friends. All right, turn it over to another song this morning from Bruce and Cheryl.
Hasbi Rabbi Jalala ma fi qalbi wa ruhla mure ربي جل الله ما في قلبي غير الله نور محمد صلى الله لا إله إلا الله तेरे सदके में नागा सारे जहान को दीन मिला भी तीनों ने कलमा पढ़ा ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह हस्बी रब्बी जल्लल्लाह मा फी कल्बी गैरुल्लाह नूरे मुहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह सिमटे नबी बुझे लग गया आका से उसने कहा गर हो नबी बतलाओ जरा मेरी मुट्ठी में क्या सिमटे नबी बुझे लग गया आका से उसने कहा गर हो नबी बतलाओ जरा मेरी मुट्ठी में क्या आका का फरमान हुआ फजल सुभान हुआ मुट्ठी से पार कर बोला ला अल्लाह इल्लल्लाह हस्बी रब्बी जल्लल्लाह मा फी कल्बी गैरुल्लाह नूरे मुहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह हस्बी रब्बी जल्लल्लाह मा फी कल्बी गैरुल्लाह नूरे मुहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह
Thank you so much. Well, this is the time in our service where we pass the proverbial basket and inviting folks to contribute if they're able. And we appreciate that so many of you do already contribute to the functioning of our sanctuary. Their donations go to supporting our musicians, our managing director, our marketing person, leadership. Very, very low overhead, to be honest, otherwise. So thanks, everyone. And if anyone feels particularly called this morning to donate, I will just put that link in the chat right now, and I'll turn it over to Bruce and Cheryl for our next song.
From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live.
Thank you. Well, now it's my honor to introduce one of our own community members today, sharing and speaking about Milad un-Nabi, the birth of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Samir Merchant is a software engineer who's currently taking an extended sabbatical to better understand the climate crisis and to be a stay-at-home parent. He's an Ismaili Muslim who was born in India, grew up in the UAE, lived in multiple cities in the US for 2 decades, and now lives with his family on the lands of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh in Vancouver, Canada. Samir, it's my honor to turn it over to you this morning. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much, Dorley. Um, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of God, the most compassionate, the most merciful. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was born on the Arabian Peninsula in the city of Mecca in the middle of the month of Rabiul Awwal, the third month of the Arabian calendar. The actual birthday is celebrated differently in different communities. Sunni Muslims typically observe it on the 12th day of Rabiul Awwal, while Shia Muslims observe it on the 17th day. On the Gregorian calendar for 2026, that corresponds to August 25th and 30th, respectively. In Iran, the entire 6 day stretch is celebrated as Islamic Unity Week, an attempt by the government to foster sectarian sectarian unity. Several other Muslim majority countries also have extensive festivities, including Egypt, Indonesia, and Pakistan. At the other end of the spectrum, Saudi Arabia does not observe the occasion at all, and many of the Gulf Arab countries observe it as a national holiday, but without any fanfare, as you would have on the two Eids, which are uh, the two largest celebrations in Islam. So, why does Saudi Arabia not celebrate the birthday of its best known son and founder of the country's official religion? Well, they follow a very strict interpretation of the religion. The occasion was not observed during the lifetime of the Prophet, peace be upon him, or during the early days of Islam. So they see it as a religious innovation. They also see it as a step towards making the Prophet out to be more than just a human. It's something that is highly frowned upon in Islam. Instead, they choose to celebrate only Eid al-Fitr and Eid al-Adha, which are the two large celebrations, annual celebrations in the Muslim calendar. So I highlight this difference here to remind people of how diverse the world's 2 billion Muslims are, contrary to the common depiction of in Western world and the Western media of Muslims as a monolith. Among Ismaili Muslims, the day is observed, but again, without a lot of fanfare. There is typically a sermon talking about the Prophet Muhammad's life and reminding us to strive to emulate his virtues. The Prophet, peace be upon him, had many admirable qualities, and Milad un-Nabi provides an opportunity to reflect on those qualities and to commit to trying to embody more of them in our everyday lives. Let's talk about a few of those qualities. First, honesty. Even prior to the first revelation, Muhammad was known throughout Mecca by the title Al-Amin, meaning the trustworthy. Even as they persecuted him, many of his opponents trusted only him to safeguard their wealth. And when he was forced by the said persecution to flee Mecca to Medina for his safety, he had his cousin Ali stay behind to return everything that had been entrusted to his care. Second, humility. After the nascent Muslim community migrated from Mecca to Medina, they set about building their first dedicated mosque. He could have sat back and supervised, but instead the Prophet carried heavy mud bricks and stones alongside his companions, despite their exhortations for him to rest and let them do the hard work. Even after he became the political and spiritual leader of the entire Arabian Peninsula, Muhammad lived like an ordinary citizen, milking his own goats, patching his own clothes, repairing his own shoes, and doing his shares of chores at home. Empathy. Muhammad showed intense concern for the vulnerable, the disenfranchised, and the poor, including children and animals. One of his most famous sayings is, "He is not a believer who fills his stomach while his neighbor next to him goes hungry." This was not just something that applied to a Muslim neighbor, it applied regardless of the neighbor's religion, regardless of their tribal affiliation, and regardless of the neighbor's ability to return the favor at some point in the future. Muhammad was also known for his forgiveness. He consistently responded to abuse and cruelty with patience and reconciliation. After a decade of persecution and boycotts while in Mecca, And then another decade of wars against the Muslims who fled to Medina, Muhammad returned to Mecca as a conqueror at the head of a very large army. Many of his former persecutors expected a bloody retribution. Instead, he declared a general amnesty. It was actually this act of forgiveness that led many of the people of Mecca to eventually embrace Islam. It was not a conversion that was like forced at the edge of a sword. It was a response to the kindness and patience and reconciliation shown by the Prophet. And then fifth is inclusiveness. I initially wanted to call this interfaithiness, but I looked that up and it's not a word. So inclusiveness. Upon arriving in Medina, the Prophet helped draft a constitution for the city that guaranteed religious freedom and equal political rights to all who lived in the city, including the city's Jewish minority. There's also a famous narrative where he stood up out of respect as a Jewish funeral procession passed by him in Medina. Some of his companions were surprised and asked him why he stood when the deceased man was not Muslim. The Prophet looked at them and replied, "Is it not a human soul? Is it not a human soul?" What a beautiful sentiment. If the founder of a religion is able to show that level of respect to a member of another faith, a competing faith, why should those of us who choose to walk that path behave differently? Of course, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, is not unique in this regard. All the founders of the world's religions were people of extraordinary virtue. That is why people chose to follow them. Their example is something we would all do well to emulate. If more of us were honest, humble, empathetic, quick to forgive, and slow to anger, and respectful of those different than us, the world would be a kinder place, with less intolerance, less inequality, and less polarization. I think that is a world all of us would like to live in. Thank you.
Thank you, Samir. Such beautiful sentiment. So well said. Thank you very much. I'm going to turn it over to Bruce and Cheryl for one last song, and then we'll have a closing prayer. And then folks are welcome to stay after the service for some conversation with Samir if you'd like. So over to you, Bruce and Cheryl.
Yahanana, 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 Yahanana. Zoharul dinu muahiyad bisuhurin Nabi Ahmad. Zoharul dinu muahiyad bisuhurin Nabi Ahmad. Yahanan Nabi Muhammad Zalikafatul minallah. So pisabil matsani Mamalap te falumani Malahu fil kokisani Alegi Anzalala. Yahanana, 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 Yahanana,
Thank you so much. All right, friends, may you go with the wisdom that was shared today. The prophet, peace be upon him, this honor of his birth. May you be infused with this wisdom that Samir shared today, the importance of humility, of honesty, of empathy, forgiveness, and inclusivity. May these virtues, these spiritual and human virtues, enrich your lives. Hold your path steady as you walk into the life of bringing more harmony into this world and the good work. May the wisdom of the prophet also travel with you. Thank you, friends. May it be so.